Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. We are just about to kick off the actual season of Outlaw Troopers Season 11. Preseason is actually available now if you want to go ahead and play it. By the time you're watching this video, you may have a day left or the regular season may have already kicked off. But I wanted to get a video out here as soon as I've had a chance to go ahead and check out the preseason because there is a huge change as far as the encounters go. The robotic encounters no longer exist and they've replaced it with something really cool. And there's some other things that connect to it. So I wanted to go ahead and cover that in this video, plus any other changes that I found as far as the preseason goes. Please understand this is based on the preseason, so by the time the regular season comes, they may adjust a few things here and there. Before we jump into the video, I know I have to do everyone's least favorite part of the video and let you know this disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research before you jump into any project. Don't take my word or anything that's said in this video as financial advice or advice in any way. I'm just a gamer playing a game and reviewing games as part of this. I am not telling you to jump in any project or anything along those lines. Do your own research. Make sure it's right for you. Go ahead and pause this video and read this thoroughly before we jump into it. All right, so let's get back to the video. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the minor updates that they have so far. So there's been a few things here and there, and I've just give you some transparency. I went through the preseason, the tutorial that you can go ahead and start out with, and a number of other things to test out the different areas, just so I knew what I was talking about. So if you go ahead and log in, you'll still have to go through the tutorial. It's the same as it's been all for the last couple seasons. What I want to go ahead and focus on is, again, the minor changes that you'll see right away, and then the big, gigantic change that's out there. Let's go ahead and start out with some of the minor changes. First of all, if you go up to upgrades, they've reduced this a little bit. This has been reduced as far as now you can only upgrade the companions and the gear. Some of the other upgrades that they had in there as far as the overall game goes, they've removed it. They made it more static instead of just making those updates, just trying to clean it up a little bit and make it a little bit ease of use for everybody involved. In addition to that, in the encounters, and if you go here, you're going to see a quick sneak peek of it, but we're going to skip that for right now. For the encounters go, you can go ahead and some people always take a look at this as far as the instant clears. For this season is going to be a maximum of 5. It's been fluctuating from season to season. Sometimes it's been 3, sometimes it's been 2, and you can go ahead and upgrade it and so forth. As far as the season goes, since they don't have it in the upgrading side, it's just a maximum of 5 to kick it off with. You still need the diamonds, you still need the FGL to go ahead and do it, but that just gives you an idea of what's out there. Also for the encounters, when you run an encounter, at least the normal encounters, when you run it and you do a gear node, at the end of your encounter, it actually now shows you the actual gears that you were able to get. So this helps out if you're looking for specific gears. Instead of trying to go look through all the details in your inventory to see if you got more of this and less of this, you can actually just quickly scan this for the ones that you may be looking for as in regards to trying to get some NFTs out there. So that's a nice ease of use, quality of life improvement there. Nothing crazy. So those are some of the minor updates that they've had. You can see they've done some adjustments with the enemies. They've both with the power and the as far as how strong they are, the waves from a performance perspective. So there's minor adjustments here and there that I'm not going to dive into. You can go ahead and check out the leaks in the Discord if you want to really dive into those minor changes. What I wanted to spend most of this video focusing on is if you go to encounters, instead of robotic encounters, that's gone. Now you have Into the Abyss, which is a new addition, which has actually been pretty fun. I've been trying it out. Again, early stages, just testing it out for preseason. But it gives you it gives you a chance to get in some more rewards. You get the artifacts as rewards too, reputation. But you do need the access keys, so you still have to go ahead and farm those through missions, which is the same as it was before. And you get some other rewards. Like I said, you get the artifacts and the other items. It does cost the in-game token, the coins, which is normal. But the change here is it's actually set up completely different. As you can see here, they actually have a number of competitions that are going on. And as far as the overall season goes, there's some big rewards that are going to come from this. From limited blends to scientists to rare troopers, all all the way down to quits. So you have a chance to go ahead, and the neat thing is there's different areas to this. You have the lab that you can go ahead and craft different things with it, hunting, which gives you the artifacts and the reputation, and then the arena, which is where you're going to go ahead and focus for this to try and get rewards based on your ranking. Right now my arena ranking is 8 out of 22 because I haven't really tried it, other than what we're going to go ahead and try in this video. But in order to get started, when you first go to this within the game itself, you're going to go through a small tutorial. It's a very basic tutorial, just kind of gets you started as far as how to get your creatures and how to go ahead and set them up. But if you look across the bottom here, it's a very similar approach. It's just customized for this type of thing. You're going to go ahead and see all your artifacts, your keys, and so forth. And these are new down here. These allow you to craft. If you go over to laboratory, which will be the first step that you take when you come in here, and you go to manage, you can go ahead and craft. You get these first 3 for free. They come with it. And then as you're continuing through the process of the game, which we'll cover a little more detail here shortly, you can craft additional and more powerful creatures that will help you out. Once you're first in here and you're new to it, in order to kind of get familiar with each of the characters, you can go ahead and click on view details. It's going to tell you what kind of character it is, whether it's a ranged or whether it's local. I'm sorry, not local, melee. Whether it's more of a tanky character, any special characteristics that it has with it. It's going to show you all those details, just kind of help you really get familiar with it and be able to use them the best possible. For example, this guy's more of a ranged person, so you don't want to have him in the front line, but you have this guy right here who is more of a tanky melee style creature that'll help you really in the front line. So based on how you set it up, you can go ahead, you'll see that when you first jump in here, you can go ahead and claim them. You can also go through the process of upgrading, which costs artifacts. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this guy, just to give me some more power. We'll actually go ahead and upgrade all 3 of these. It costs 200 artifacts to go ahead and upgrade them. As part of preseason, you get a ton of artifacts and all the resources that you need. It just kind of helps you get familiar with the game. So understand that you're not going to have those when the regular season comes around. So I could go ahead and keep upgrading these guys as much as possible. I'll do that on the side. Now you have a couple other options as far as how to go ahead and play. The first thing that the tutorial is going to take you to after you go ahead and get your creatures is over here, which this allows you to go ahead and fight and kind of go down. It's kind of like, I forget what they're called, but you go different floors in a tower, and each floor you go gets a little bit tougher and a little bit tougher. And then you can use the competitions here in the hunting and the arena area, which I'll show you here in a second. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you the battle. This is depth 4. Instead of going up a tower, you're actually going down. So depth 4. These are the creatures that I have. I'm going to go ahead and take them out. And what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go to the depth 4 challenge. And then I can go ahead. These are the 3 monsters that I have. And I set them up on the board any way I want, competing against these guys right here. And depending on where they're at, whether they're ranged, melee, and all that sort of stuff, which you can go ahead and figure out yourself. I'm going to go ahead and put my tanky guy. Oops, I got to go. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, put my tanky guy right here. This may not be the best approach, but it's how I'm going to do it. And then we'll go ahead and set it up like that. And then you just press start, and it's an auto battler. So they're going to jump on the field here. You can go ahead and change the speeds. You can show the logs. If you don't want to sit here, oh, I'm getting crunched already, which was probably already a bad setup. I should have showed you actually me doing well in this, not me doing this. So they're crunching on my tank guy right here, and I need some other ones to get in there. But you can go ahead and you can fast forward it. You can watch the battle, which we're going to watch it, and you're going to see my guy go out here, which is going to be a problem. So I did not set up that exactly the way I wanted to, but it's all about experimenting. That's what the preseason for. You can go ahead and experiment. You go ahead and take out some monsters. As you can saw, I'm on depth 4, so I've already beaten a few of the other levels. But if I go ahead and click on close, it'll auto finish it, or I can continue to watch. You can go down to, if you really, really want to watch it slow, you go to speed 1. All the way up to speed 3, and you're seeing at the bottom here, it shows you their damage, and you can go through the process of seeing how you actually did by showing the logs. So we're going to go ahead, just for the sake of the video, we're going to close it out, which I'm going to lose. I'll tell you that right now. I've been defeated. So unfortunately, I just didn't have enough power to go ahead. I can go back to knowing what I know now for depth 4. I can go back to the laboratory and I can go ahead and upgrade my characters more. I can go through the process of trying to get additional ones unlocked, so I can go ahead and attack those. Now that I've upgraded these a few more times, we're just going to go here again and see if it actually helped out at all. I'll skip over it so we don't have to go through the battle itself. And I was able to win that time. So it took just a little bit of upgrading, and I was able to unlock the next level. So that's great. Now I can send them to this level to go ahead and hunt. So speaking of hunting, if you go ahead and click on hunting, it's based on the depths that you have unlocked, and the deeper that you go, the better the rewards. So if I go to depth 1, this first one will be free. I've already run it free just to test it out, but you can go ahead and run the next one, which will essentially take 60 minutes, and you can go ahead and get these rewards. But if I go all the way down to depth 4, I'm going to get much better rewards, but it's also going to cost me a little bit more. So if you want to go ahead and send it, just make sure that the combat rating is where it needs to be. You have the resources that you need, the keys and the coins. Highlight it and click on send, and it'll go ahead and send it on its hunt. And it's going to take 60 minutes. You'll also see it down here where one's hunting, 2 are idle. So if I go ahead and click on all these and send them all out, you'll see it changes to all 3 are currently hunting. And then we were going to wait an hour. This is a little bit of a clicky side of it, so I'm not super excited about that part of it. But it's nice because it's better than the robotic encounters, which they got grindy at times. So I'm kind of liking the change here, especially as you go down to like depth 4 and beyond, when you're getting the higher rewards for it, or even going across here to get the higher rewards too. The other option here is going to be the arena. You can go ahead and fight. Same process here. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to fight since I just sent my guys out, but we'll go ahead and test it out. It's going to cost me 20 FGL, and I was able to send them out there, and I'm fighting against this guy. So let's go ahead and see how I do as far as the arena goes. It's the same process. I can go ahead and speed it up if I really want to make it overall go faster. So they're coming in to help. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably, since it's a similar style, go ahead and just close this out. Just again, the sake of the video, we don't want the video to be too long, but I highly encourage you to test it out. So we'll go ahead and close. I was actually defeated, but I was able to get some artifacts and some diamonds. So you actually get diamonds from the arena now, which is fine. I lost, cost me 20 FGL, which is fine. That's part of the arena fun. And then if you come back over here, you can go ahead and check it out. I'm rank 9. Again, I need to upgrade my creatures a whole lot more in order to get them more competitive, because I know some people who have the unlimited resources down here have probably already upgraded their monsters up to as high as they possibly could with the resources that we currently have. So this was just for test purposes. So now I'm going to go ahead over to Outlaw Troopers again, and we're going to talk about some of the supporting stuff that goes along with it. So this alone is kind of a game in itself. As you can see, you can go ahead to the lab and create new monsters. You can go ahead, do the tower. You can go send them on hunts. And you got the arena, which is a huge addition to the overall game itself and adds a whole lot of fun. But then you also got to talk about one of the additional items that goes along with it. In order to get those elements, and I keep clicking on it, these little elements that are down here, one of the additions that you're going to have to do is planets. Planets are going to become a bigger part this time around. So if I go to planets, you have to unlock the companion that you need for it. You go to planet and you have 2 options here. I'm actually going to show you the rent a planet option, because this is going to show you the difference from last season. Last season, a lot of the focus was on the miners and the percent of mining as far as for life force. There's a slight change to planets now. As you can see, they now have bonuses for the different genes, which goes to down here that you need in order to use in the laboratory, in order to create higher rated monsters that allow you to go ahead and continue to compete. So you, oops, clicked. So you kind of want to select the one that you want best based on your experience. Just because I haven't had a chance to dig through this since preseason just released, I'm going to go ahead and select wins. I was successfully able to create that. And then if I go in here as far as some of the upgrading stuff, you have the normal mining capacity, the mining rating, and the Q cooldown, which has been there forever. Same with the mission rewards. But this middle line here, the laboratory line, is new. So you actually have the gene production. You get passive genes as you're going through this. So the gene production is 60 minutes, so you can continue to improve that to make that a shorter time frame. You have a chance, you can actually improve this so you have a chance to get the doubles. And then so for the research points per 5 seconds. So it's a lot more focus on the laboratory and the research that goes along with the abyss that we just showed you, all those details. So it's going to be critical in there as far as some of these things, which makes plants, they were already critical as far as farming life sources, but now they're even more critical. Just the fact that you have to be able to, for the genes, in order to produce those. So it depends on how you want to go forward with the planets. If you want to continue to focus on life force mining, you can go ahead and focus on upgrading those. Or what you can do, go ahead and focus on the laboratory. So it's completely up to you. Or you can have some sort of balance. It may make sense to have some sort of balance because more people will use it if your mining rate is higher. But then you can still have some production going on there. So it's completely up to you on how you want to do it. Let me know that on this in the comments, what your thoughts are around this. I'm going to go ahead. The one thing I did want to check, and I have not had the chance to check it yet, is previous seasons, not last season, but seasons before. If you upgraded, say this, you still had the low cost on the other ones to go ahead and upgrade. Last season, if you upgraded one, it increased the price for all of them. So let's go ahead and check what it's going to be like for this season. So I'm going to go ahead and increase that. And it does. It increases the cost for all of the other ones. So keep that in mind when you're planning out your approach. Go ahead and crank this up to 10. Then all this other stuff is going to be expensive also. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on this one also. So it does reduce it by 1 minute. You'll see that. And you can keep going through the process to upgrade it the way you want to upgrade it. And then one other change that was in here is as far as the life force mining. It's slightly different now. The results are actually instant instead of them kind of slowly mining and you waiting in a queue. For example, let me go ahead and use the best planet on in the game. Just my personal preference. And you now have two buttons here. You can either do your NFT mecha mining, or you can do the virtual mechas. Virtual mechas you earn as you do encounters. NFTs are obviously the ones that you own. So let's go ahead and send these. You can see it looks a whole lot different now. You can go ahead and just click on them. And when you click on them, it's going to show you the cost and the actual life force that you receive for each of them. So for a mega quit, I'm going to go ahead and get 66.6 life force from this planet. And then if I want to do just regular, it's going to be 6.06. So if I want to go ahead and click on all of them, I can do them individually, or I can select on the top. And you can see it's going to cost me 630 million, which I do not have. So we're going to go ahead and unselect it. So we'll go ahead and just do one here. And you're going to see it's going to be instant. You can go ahead and deploy it. And it shows you've already received it. So that's it as far as the time frame it takes for this. So you don't have to wait in a huge long queues. If I go back here, you do have the cooldown period, as you can see, but it's a lot faster to get you the results that you want from it. So that was another big change that happened. Actually, those are all the big changes that happened. It's all focused really on the new edition of this one here, Into the Abyss, which is awesome. This kind of connects to the Orbitroid that's out there too, and it's a lot of cool things that they've added to the game this season to keep it fresh and going. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of the new Into the Abyss replacing the robotic encounters? I personally like it. Like I said, the robotic encounters got a little grindy to me. This adds a little bit more flavor to it. Plus you get the extra arena, so you can go ahead and compete against others and things like that. So it's a great addition from my side. So I'm curious to hear what you think also. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.